Good afternoon. The Committee on Water and Land and the Committee on EET is on its hearing notice. Today is Friday, February 5th, hearing notice. I'd like to share with those in Wonderland and Zoomland that some housekeeping announcements. I'd like to say that this is the combined hearing, as I did mention, again, on the Committee of Water and Land and the Committee on Energy, Economic Development, and Tourism. We welcome all our committee members seated here in the room as well as those on Zoom. To clarify that this meeting, including the audio and the video of remote participants, is being streamed live on YouTube. You will find links to the viewing options for all Senate meetings on the live and on-demand video page of the legislature's website. Just to add, in the unlikely event that we have to abruptly end this hearing due to major technical difficulties, the committee will reconvene to discuss any outstanding business at 1 p.m. on Wednesday, February 10th. A public notice will be posted on the legislature's website. For those participating remotely via Zoom, the testifier audio will be muted and video disabled until shortly before it is your turn to testify. And a reminder that there is a time limit per testifier is 2 minutes. For the Committee on Water Land, let me welcome my committee members. Senator Misalucha is here. We have on remote Senator Favela, and I see our vice chair has made it, but is on flying mode. I guess we'll have him soon as we see him, but I think we see him for now. Senator Agaran is here as well. We do have 2 members who will be joining us, or one more. Senator Revere is here. Thank you, Senator Revere. Senator Wakai, you want to introduce your staff?
Sure. The EET committee is thrilled to be on YouTube with the Water Land Committee in person. Myself, my Vice Chair, Senator Misalucha, Senator Revere is here as well, and via video conference we have Senator Favela.
Okay. Thank you. We'll proceed then with the most important bill of the century, perhaps I will say, for this session. And we're happy that Senator Wakai's bill will be hearing this year, and most important, on SB 1423. This is relating to the Stadium Development District. This establishes the Stadium Development District Special Fund. It revises the general development guidance policies for the Stadium Development District and clarifies the respective roles the Stadium Authority and Hawaii Community Development Authority in the development of the Stadium Development District, broadens the powers and duties of the Stadium Authority, including authorizing the Stadium Authority to acquire and hold title to real property. It also exempts lands to which the Stadium Authority holds title from the definition of, quote, public lands, unquote. Authorizes the HCDA, with approval from the governor, to delegate to other agencies implementation of capital improvement projects under certain conditions. It broadens the representation of the Stadium Authority by adding 2 members to its membership. It also amends the general bond authorization made by Act 268, Session Laws of Hawaii 2019. It makes financial disclosures of members of the Stadium Authority public records pursuant to Section 84-17D HRS. We're pleased to have our first testifier testifying for the University of Hawaii, Calbert Young. Aloha, Calbert.
Good afternoon, chairs, members. Calbert Young, Vice President for the University of Hawaii. We can stand on our testimony. We are supportive of the measure. However, I have provided some comments and requests for revision in the bill as it relates to the Stadium Authority and the University of Hawaii. Thank you.
Okay, and Chair and members of the committee, I prefer having questions raised after each testifier so that we don't forget what we want to say. So if you feel like I will ask for comments from any of the committee members regarding the university's testimony. Any discussion? Okay. And not to say, Calvert, don't run away because there may be questions later. Next.
I'll hang out. All right,
thank you so much. Testifying for DAGS, or the Department of Accounting and General Services, Kurt Otaguro.
Good afternoon, Chair Inoue and Chair Wakai and Vice Chair Agaran and Vice Chair Mr. Lucio. Welcome. My name is Kurt Otaguro, State Comptroller, the Department of Accounting and General Services. DAGS, as we call ourselves, is strongly supports the measure SB 1423 with regard to the development of a new stadium district. As you know, the team has been working on this, and the state has been working on this for close to 15 years, and a lot of progress has been made over the years. And so we're at a point where it is we're at a critical point to move forward, and we look forward to any questions that you may have with regard to the bill or the development district. Suffice it to say, the timing is good with regard to any kind of economic stimulation with the construction industry, as well as for our state. We believe that the stadium district, well, we do need a new stadium. First and foremost, but this project, as you evaluate this bill, is much more than the stadium. It is a development of a district. It's a development of an entertainment concept. It is to promote small business. It's to provide community space, as well as to provide other kinds of activities, which includes housing and hotels and what have you. We think that it's a combination of a local and tourism attraction at Halawa that will provide a lot of good activity for the state of Hawaii. So thank you very much for this opportunity to testify.
Thank you, Kurt. Just an aside, I thought my 5-year Airport Authority bill has been lingering out in heaven, but you said this is a 15-year-old project. Anyway, just an aside. I'm glad we're part of hearing this measure as well. Any questions of DAGS? Seeing none, hearing none, we'll continue on then to Scott Chan, and he's testifying for the Stadium Authority. Scott?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Chairs, committee chairs, vice chairs, committee members. Good afternoon. My name is Scott Chan. I represent the Stadium Authority. I also have here representing the stadium to help answer any questions our Deputy Manager, Brian Andrews. On my right and on my left, I have our Administrative Services Officer, Russell Uchida. And at this point, we stand on our testimony and in strong support.
Thank you very much. Any questions of Stadium Authority, Scott? Okay, seeing none, hearing none, we'll proceed then. Deepak.
Sorry, Chair.
I'm sorry, Senator Favela, please.
Yeah, sorry, for the Stadium Authority. I just got a question, and I know this was, it's a good, good project. The question that I have is that, as we did the renovations and we did the Band-Aid and whatever fixing that we did with the stadium, we know visionary Frank Fossey wanted to move the stadium to the west side. And at that time, I remember everybody saying that, why would we move it on that side? Nobody lives there. Well, we know that's one of the most populated area and growing area in the community with West Oahu University. So with this magnitude of a project, You guys never think about moving it out, still continuing to move it out to the west side instead of redeveloping that whole area that I know you guys are gonna be getting more input with traffic studies and inconveniencing a lot of people moving there, living there with this project. Because the same thing would happen with Radford Drive, and it took away people's homeland and had to make it wider for the road coming in to the stadium. I'm just saying that, you know, I know a lot of people is for this project, and I know it's a good project, but did we really look into every single option? Since you guys say the stadium is not worth fixing, wouldn't that have been cheaper to move this whole project somewhere else?
Scott, respond, and also if Kurt, you want to respond as well. Go ahead, Scott.
Provide some comments, but I would think that would be a question for the example to support our decisions. But thank you, Senator Favela, for the question. I do know that the consultants have done a thorough, comprehensive study of many sites before we've come to this conclusion. It's unfortunate no one could predict the pandemic in terms of what we're faced with that has changed somewhat of the course that we've taken. And we will continue to look at ways that best benefits and serves the state. You know, I'm not sure if that really answers your questions. I don't know if, Comptroller, you wanted to chime in to some degree?
Sure. Good afternoon, Senator Favela. Thank you for that question. With regard to the location, be assured that the project team did do an evaluation of many sites. If you recall, over several years ago, West Oahu was absolutely one of them. It all went down to Kapiolani Park, to Sand Island, as well as the existing site. And after the evaluation was done, and a thorough evaluation was done, it was proven that because of the infrastructure for roads, freeways, and accessibility, that Halawa, the existing location with the 98 acres, was the right place for it, so that we could capitalize on utilizing the existing infrastructure there for the stadium. Now, we're gonna build out the district, and so there's additional investment that will take place over time to build out more infrastructure. But the study was thorough and vetted with the community, and the project team has been discussing this project almost monthly at the IFB board and other neighborhood boards. And so we feel, and the project team feels that they have a lot of support for it.
Okay. All right. That answers your question, Senator Favela. Any other questions or comments?
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you, mahalo. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, we'll go to the next testifier, HCDA, Deepak Nupane. Deepak?
Thank you, Chair Okai and Vice Chair Agaran and Salucha for the opportunity to provide comments. HCDA stands on written testimony, and I can address any questions that members may have.
Okay. Members, you received his testimony as well. Any comments at this time? You'll be around for a while there, Deepak?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
Sure, Chair, I'll be around.
Thank you very much. Members, we have received comments or testimony from Craig Hirai, and he is with the Department of Budget and Finance. Some comments as well in testifying for the League of Women Voters, Douglas Miller, and we do have testifying for the American Council of Engineering Companies, Hawai'i, ASAC, as well as support from John Kawamoto and an individual. We do have SMA comments, or Elizabeth Kaur, for some reason, is on this message. We do have Sandy Wong, and this is an individual in support as well. Chris Kinimaka of, let's see, an individual with comments. Members, before we continue on into decision-making, any questions before we continue on?
Excuse me, Chair Inouye?
Yes.
I'm sorry. This is Sandy Wong, and I'm here on behalf of ACEC, the American Council of Engineering Companies. We did submit written testimony. We can stand on the written testimony if you prefer.
Sure, Sandy. We did get your, but there was no indication that they were going to be speaking on Zoom. So I think there's a link that you send testimony in. If you're going to be speaking, then there's another, I guess, a glitch or whatever to testify. But members, we did receive their comments late. Do you want to hear it or? Okay, we'll proceed then. Thank you, Sandy. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But we did receive your testimony.
Okay.
Thank you. Actually, both from you and from the ASEC as well. Thank you.
We're ACEC. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Members, if there's no discussions further, Chair, shall we go into decision-making? Then we will be going into decision-making for the committees of Water and Land and the Committee of EET. Good afternoon. Both committees on Water and Land and the Committee on Energy, Economic Development, Tourism is out of recess, and we will go into decision-making on SB 1423. Members, in our discussion with both of the committees, the chair's recommendation is to adopt an SD1, and this is purely for recommending minor technical, substantive amendments, actually for purpose of clarity and consistency throughout the measure. For the Committee on Water, Land, any comments? Any discussions? Okay, hearing none, Senator Revere for the votes, please. On Water, Land, chair goes aye.
Okay, chair votes aye. Senator Keith Agran?
Aye.
Senator Misa Lucha?
Aye.
I vote aye. Senator Favela?
Aye.
Measure adopted, Chair.
For members of EET, same recommendation. Any discussion? If not, Senator Misa Lucha, I vote yes.
For SB 1423 for EET, Chair votes aye, Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Lee.
Aye.
Senator Revere.
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Chair, measure is adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you, members. We'll go to the next item, and this is the chair of EET, and the EET committee is the lead. Senator Wakai.
Joint members, we're on Senate Bill 480 relating to the Development District. This is a really cool bill for our friends on Maui. First of all, on our testifiers list is Suzanne Case. Is she?
Good afternoon, chairs. Russell Tsuji for Department of Land and Natural Resources. We submitted written testimony in strong support of this bill, and we're available for questions that you may have.
Thank you, Russell. Ian Hirokawa, DLNR. Also,
I'm here for you. I'm here for Ian. Thank you.
Oh, you are everybody, Russell. Okay. Do you want to take Deepak's commentary too? No, just joking. Deepak, HCDA. Thank you, Russell. Is Deepak on? There you are. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Chair Inoue and Okai and Vice Chair Keith Agran and Mr. Lucha for the opportunity to provide comments. HCDA stands on its written comments.
Thank you, Deepak. Alice Lee, Council Chair for the County of Maui, has submitted testimony in support. We also have testimony, no, that's it, 4 pieces of testimony. Members, any questions of the two individuals who are online with us?
No?
Okay.
good.
If not, we're going to break briefly for a quick recess. Okay, recess is over. Hope you didn't miss us for too long there. We are now ready to take a vote. The two chairs have discussed the merits of Senate Bill 480. We really see that Maui can greatly benefit from this particular measure. Would like to pass this measure out as is. Members, any discussion? If not, Senator Misalucha, I vote yes.
SB 480, Chair votes aye, Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Lee.
Aye.
Senator Rivera.
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Measures adopted, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you. The Committee on Water and Land, same recommendation on SB 480 is to pass as is. Any discussions? Hearing none, then Waterland our Senator Revere for the vote, please. Chair goes aye.
Chair votes aye. Vice Chair Keith Agron?
Aye.
Aye. Senator Misalucha?
Aye.
I vote aye. Senator Favela?
Aye.
Chair, your recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Thank you, members.
Thanks for.
Do I pull out for the new one? Oh, he did, yeah. Okay, thank you. Hey, hey.
Easy peasy.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon. The Committees on Water and Land and the Committee on Housing is into its afternoon agenda item of Friday, February 5th at 1 p.m. It's exactly 1:30 p.m. Regarding SB 2. This is relating to public lands. And it clarifies that land set aside to the Hawaii Housing Finance and Development Corporation by the governor or leased to the corporation by other departments and agencies are exempt from the definition of, quote, public lands, unquote, requires the Hawaii Housing Finance and Development Corporation to dispose of public lands pursuant to Chapter 171 of the HRS. Clarifies that lands set aside by the governor or leased to the Hawaii Housing Finance Development Corporation from other state agencies are subject to legislative approval prior to the sale or gift of those lands. First testifying will be HFDC, Housing and Finance Development, Denise Matsubara. Aloha. Denise.
Aloha, good afternoon, chairs. Thank you so much for the opportunity. HHFDC strongly supports this measure that will streamline development process for HHFDC. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Okay, thank you. Any questions of HHFDC at the moment? We'll proceed with the second testifier, Office of Hawaiian Affairs, Sterling Wall, or representative.
Aloha, good afternoon, chairs, members of the committee. Wayne Tanaka standing in for Sterling Wong. We'll just stand on our opposition to SB 2. I just wanted to point out that we have offered some language in our testimony that we've presented to HHFDC that would mitigate our concerns about the potential century-long foreclosure of Native Hawaiian claims to ceded lands that might occur under this measure. And I'm happy to answer any questions that the committee has. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any questions at this time on OHA? Seeing none or hearing none, then we'll continue on another opposition testifying for the kupuna, kupuna for the mo'opuna. Anyone? I'm sorry, they're not testifying. It's comments on opposition. In support. An individual, Eric Horn. Members, any questions of those agencies that have provided testimony?
Chair,
I do, Chair.
Yes, Senator Revere, followed by Senator Moriwaki.
Hi, thank you, Chair. Maybe Denise can answer this. OHA just suggested that they were in touch with you on suggested amendments and verbiage. Are you in agreement with, or would you object to the amendment they're suggesting?
Thank you for the question, Senator. The last draft of the proposals that I reviewed were deemed not workable when we reviewed it with developers who have actually developed homes for DHHL.
And why is it not workable? What makes it fall apart?
The feedback that we got is it adds another layer of bureaucracy to the development process and defeats the actual purpose of streamlining the situation. So what is probably more workable is the partnerships that we already do with OHA in terms of our financing programs that we work on, for instance, in the villages of Leali'i, villages of La'iopua, where we are trying to help finance infrastructure and also provide the direct financing for the projects, seem to be much more productive.
Okay, thank you. Can I just double check then with OHA? Because I just wanted, the testimony was that there was an agreement there. Wayne, could you please?
Wayne, did you hear?
Did I mishear something? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, yeah, we presented the language to HHFDC. We haven't heard back from them. So this is the first that I've heard about that being unworkable. I'm, really happy to discuss with them about what language they think might be, workable on their end. Our primary concern is to prevent, as I said, what could be, the foreclosure of native Hawaiian claims to ceded lands for 99 years or potentially longer. It kind of goes to the heart of our existence as an agency to protect the ceded lands corpus until native Hawaiian claims are resolved. And so, but we're happy to work with HFDC if they have counter proposals or something that we can look at.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Would you want to add your comments? You're going to ask Senator Agaran?
Well, I do, are we at the end of, yeah, I do have a question when it's appropriate.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Chair, just a real quick follow-up on that.
Senator Moriwaki. Okay, proceed. Thanks.
Sorry, thank you, Chair. Just the same question, but about going back to the director, in response to, or actually to Wayne, in response to what the director is saying, that you already work in partnership and collaboration on these projects, whether you need to put that in law or you can continue to work in collaboration so there's not an added layer of bureaucracy and approvals so we can get affordable housing built quicker. Do you not work in collaboration now, and can't that be continued?
Right, I mean, I'm not sure if she's referring, if the director is referring to DHHL or OHA for La'iopua and Leali'i, but I think we appreciate that there's significant housing needs in the Native Hawaiian community. We don't want to stop further collaboration that can provide housing relief for Native Hawaiians. I think the issue of encumbering ceded lands for multiple generations at a time. I think HHFDC's rules might contemplate like 99-year leases. I mean, that's a separate issue. We just want to figure out a way, if we're going to move forward with these long-term encumbrances, like how can we at least recognize and appropriately protect Native Hawaiian claims to the ceded lands corpus.
Okay, thank you. Any further comments? Senator Moriwaki, continue. Continue, please.
To Denise, so these properties that you're looking at from the OHA, they are also being designated for their beneficiaries as well. Is that correct? So that it's not taking it out of their being able to benefit from any kind of development.
Yes, thank you for the question, Senator Moriwaki. Absolutely not. So Native Hawaiians, the housing is available to all of Hawaii. Hawaii's residents. Native Hawaiians are just as important. I fully understand the disparity in homelessness and the smaller percentage of home ownerships for Native Hawaiians. And that is exactly why we've been working more closely with DHHL for OHA, because they are not federally established. There is some concerns about reaching fair housing laws, but not barring that, I have regular dialogue with the CEO of OHA. Every other week, we have a kuka session just to see where can we work together. Our next target is we're looking at haiku. We're looking at, she even had some really great ideas on how we could help Shipti, because they have a program that funds folks with archaeological and cultural background at Bishop Museum who have been laid off, who OHA has a program to help. So we're trying to figure out better ways to work together. That collaboration is going on. And to respond to Wayne's comments, my understanding is Janice Takahashi has been meeting with your office and met with Sterling last, and I guess the agreement was we agreed to disagree, so that's where it was left. The CEO has also reached out to us about helping them with kaka'ako, because I, as a Native Hawaiian myself, would want to see something happen to generate more revenue for them, because the Native Hawaiians need it. So we want to help them in looking at ways, how can we work together and be more productive?
Okay. Senator Moriwaki, is that okay? Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Chair.
Sure, no problem. I am in deep support as well with this measure before us. As Denise did mention, that I'm very familiar with Laiopua on the north side of the Big Island in Kona, and Senator Kanuha as well fully understands that Laiopua started way back years ago. It took quite a while to get the lands developed as well, to provide the housing necessary. They've done a good job over the years. And however, even though there are many more areas for development, there's some stalls, and I believe that HHFDC would do well providing housing for our Kanaka Maoli, as well as add to getting people off the wait list. So we're happy to have them as well. Any comments, any further discussions? Okay, hearing none. Senator Chang, my co-host over there on the other side, any comments or any additions? Senator Chang.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and I heard, Senator, I did introduce my committee members earlier with EET, and if you would like to introduce your housing committee members as well, for the record and for those on Zoom land.
Thank you, Chair. I see that we have Senators Moriwaki and Favela joining us remotely, and Vice Chair Kanuha is in the room, I see. Thank you for joining us.
Okay. Senator, are you ready to go into discussions for discussional purposes?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. So we're ready for you then on the next bill, which you are in the lead, I believe, Senator Chang.
Thank you. The next measure on the agenda is SB 7 relating to public lands. Authorizes the HHFDC the right of first refusal for the development of property for all development on state lands, excluding HPHA and DHHL lands that are within a 1/2 mile radius of a rail station, provided there is a transfer of any property interest, including a leasehold interest of state lands that are within a 1/2 mile radius of a rail station. And we have 3 testifiers this afternoon. First is HHFDC with comments.
Thank you very much, Chair. HHFDC stands behind its written testimony supporting the intent. We also note that not all lands are suitable for housing development. We also want to be respectful of the priorities of the other state departments that own and control land along the rail route. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Any questions for the testifier members? If not, our next testifier is HPHA with comments.
Hi, good afternoon, Chairs Chang, Chair Inoue, members of the committee. Unfortunately, Director Wansafi is unavailable at this time, but I just wanted to testify. My name is Benjamin Park. I'm with the Hawaii Public Housing Authority, and we stand in support of that exemption for SB 7. And thank you for your time.
Thank you. Members, any questions? Okay, if not, our final testifier today is Ellen Godby Carson in support. Is there anyone else wishing to testify on Senate Bill 7? Okay, if not, Chair Inoue, I think we're ready to go into recess.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. Will you call for a recess, Senator?
Yes, we are in recess and we will come back for decision making.
Good afternoon. The Committees on Water and Land and the Committee on Housing is going into its decision-making on its agenda of February 5th, Friday at 1 p.m. In Conference Room 229. First, decision-making on SB 2 relating to public lands. Both committees recommend that the pass with technical amendments, non-substantive amendments for the purpose of clarity and consistency. Any discussions on the committees? Hearing none. For the Committee on Water and Land, Chair's recommendation is to pass with an SD 1. Okay, Senator Revere for the vote. Chair goes aye.
Chair votes aye. Vice Chair Keith Agarwal.
Aye.
Votes aye. Senator Misalucha.
Aye.
I vote aye. Senator Favela.
No.
Okay, Chair, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Your Committee on Housing votes. Senator Chang.
Thank you. And for SB 2, the same recommendation as the Committee on Water and Land, which is to pass with amendments.
Okay, for the Committee on Housing, SB 2, Chair's recommendation is to pass with amendments. Chair Chang.
Aye.
Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Moriwaki.
Aye.
Senator Rhodes, anywhere in Zoom land? Nope. Excuse, Senator Favela.
Oh, no, sorry.
No. Okay. Chair, you have 3 ayes, 1 no. Recommendation is adopted.
Thank you very much. The second item on the agenda is Senate Bill 7. And the Chair's recommendation will be to pass this measure unamended.
For the Committee on Housing, Chair's recommendation for SB 7 is to pass unamended. Chair Chang.
Aye.
Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Moriwaki.
Aye.
Senator Rhodes is excused. Senator Favela.
No.
Chair, 3 ayes, 1 no. Recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. The Committee on Water and Land, same recommendation on SB 7 to pass unamended. Any discussion? Hearing none. Senator Revere, Chair goes aye.
Chair votes aye. Vice Chair Keith Agarwal.
Aye.
Senator Misalucha.
Aye.
I vote aye. Senator Favela.
No.
Your recommendation is adopted, Chair.
Okay, thank you for the joint hearings. Before we adjourn, Senator Chang, just for clarity and for transparency, you have made an adjustment on one of the hearing notice on SB1, just for those in Zoom land, because you have made changes to the agenda. Would you like to clarify for the record? On
Yes, thank you, Chair.
SB1.
The SB1 has been deleted from this agenda, and it is the intention of the chairs to hear it at a later time.
Okay, thank you. We'll adjourn the committees on water, land, and housing agenda. Good afternoon, and thank you, folks.
We can